Okay, today I want to just break down a little bit of an outline on just simply how to get more customers for your insurance business. I know a lot of you are probably starting out new to doing insurance in its entirety, brand new insurance agents. Maybe you have just acquired a book of business. Maybe you're a business person. I run into this a lot where it's actually kind of somebody that's been in the business world, knows how to run businesses, and they have acquired an agency and they've acquired a book of business, and they're trying to sort of figure out how to get traction with that and to activate that old book of business. The other thing that happens in a lot of cases that may have kind of landed you here is you're a new insurance agent and you always get kind of a book of business, but that book of business is really sort of old agency leads, to be really honest with it, or past clients, or maybe even just a compilation of a couple different smaller agencies that have been acquired into your agency, and you're getting this database or this book of business that needs to be activated. And so I just want to take you through a couple different techniques to really start to get those new customers moving inside of your agency. And I'm going to talk about some techniques that are specific to those type of databases, but I also want to talk to some offline techniques that are super important as a new agent or a new person trying to activate a new agency. There's some offline things that you should be doing as well as the digital stuff. So let me just kind of take you through my quick start checklist, my sort of zero to traction checklist of how I look to help people activate their new agency or activate their new mortgage broker business and those sorts of things. Okay, so let's start with the kind of the things that you hear about a lot, but we actually typically don't take action, and there's still powerful steps that need to be taken, but they tend to kind of take us out of our comfort zone a little bit. So first and foremost, it's just simply face-to-face networking. So if you're a new loan officer or broker, or you're a new insurance agent, you're actually serving a local community. And one of the reasons that you're probably in the business is through a lot of different sort of interactions with friends, families, and neighbors. Maybe you're the person that people keep coming to and saying, like, hey, you seem to be pretty savvy with money. Can you tell me about mortgages? Or can you help me make a decision on buying or refinancing my house? Or can you kind of help me with insurance? And over the kind of the course of doing that, you've sort of said, well, maybe I should be an insurance agent, or maybe I should be a real estate agent, or maybe I should be a mortgage. So you want to continue to sort of nurture those community relationships, and face-to-face networking is the best way to do that. So a lot of times you've done that with friends and family. You're just simply taking those same skills and you're going to then move out into the professional realm of doing that face-to-face networking. So a few things that you should be thinking about, you should put on your checklist. You should try to do a little bit of this each and every week. Partnering with professionals. Again, the community you serve, you should be professional partners and have a good relationship with all the other service professionals in your community. So you should know by first name, be able to pick up the phone, be able to give a quick referral to all of the realtors in your community, all of the CPA options in your community, all of the financial advisors in your community, all of, there's a variety, all of the attorneys in your community. So know all of the professionals in your community. A lot of times there's some networking groups that already help facilitate some of that, but you should definitely get a short list of everyone that you are serving alongside of to support your community with whatever those services are. So another thing that, again, focusing on being for the community and serving the community outside of just insurance or just mortgage, getting involved in community service organizations. So these are the Kiwanis, the Rotary Club, the VFW, the Elks. So any of those that are applicable to your situation, maybe you're a veteran, you should definitely be a part of the VFW or be a part of those veteran organizations. Or even if you aren't qualified to be a part of the organization, you should definitely reach out and make a connection and some relationships with the leaders in those community service organizations. Same thing applies to schools, churches, and other organizations. Just being involved. A lot of times you will have children that are already engaged. So simply being involved, being a part of the PTA, supporting the school, being at the games, those sorts of things. So a lot of things you're already doing just to support your own children if you have children. But even if you don't, trying to support those schools and churches, there's usually lots of opportunities to do that, both by just being involved, being a supporter, but sometimes there's some advertising and some financial support that you can lend to those different organizations that they appreciate, and of course gives you some exposure. So look for those opportunities. Local sports teams, again, this goes into the Little League, community and recreational leagues. Again, lots of opportunities to be a good supporter and fan of those organizations, but also potentially financially contributing to help them out. And then, of course, that helps you out with visibility. So looking for opportunities to do some face-to-face networking and being for the community that you're serving with your particular product is a great way. Another thing is just to turn on your listening, right? So being more comfortable being a consultative sale. Again, I talked about the fact that probably a lot of you are in this business because people were just naturally coming to you and asking your opinion because you are wise or you seem to be in the kind of the state that they want to be. And so just making sure that even as you walk into this role as an insurance agent or you walk into this role as a loan officer, you don't forget that, again, these are people, friends and family that you just want to support with good advice. And so just listening for opportunities. I was just actually sitting, my daughter's travel volleyball, and we're here in Michigan. I was sitting there watching her play, and right beside me broke out a conversation about insurance, auto insurance in particular. And there was a conversation where these two individuals, neither one in the insurance business, of course I don't sell insurance, but it would have been a perfect opportunity because they were trying to figure out in Michigan, we have a no-fault law, and that's changing, and it's sort of going to a more traditional sort of insurance situation where whoever caused the accident pays for it, and they were having a full dialogue. They were kind of comparing notes. If I had been an insurance agent, that would have been a perfect opportunity to kind of jump in and say, hey, I just happened to overhear, just wanted to, don't want to get in the middle of your conversation, but here's a couple things that I kind of know about this situation. You could have just walked into the conversation. You don't even have to disclose that you're an insurance agent initially, just sort of start to get involved in the conversation, add some knowledge to it, and then of course you can then sort of talk, hey, yeah, I know this because I'm an insurance agent. So again, turning on your ears and just kind of listening for opportunities to get into those conversations that are already happening. The other thing that's really important, especially from the insurance front, also mortgage lenders are kind of in the same situation. So whether you're talking about carriers or you're talking about lenders, make sure that you have a full spectrum of products so that you can truly serve all of the people in your community. This isn't always practical, but as much as you can, try to expand that product base so that you can be sort of full service in insurance or full service in mortgage, so you don't have to sort of refer people out or disappoint them when you can't satisfy their particular need. So within obvious constraints that you might have, try to have a full suite of products available. The other thing oftentimes people don't think about, we always think about cold calling consumers, but they're particularly in insurance, but also in mortgage. Cold calling small businesses is a great opportunity as well. And so it presents kind of a multi-layered set of opportunities. If you're in the insurance business, a lot of times you have the capability with carriers to offer commercial type policies. And so calling those small businesses can generally give you more lucrative insurance business by calling on those businesses. And they have a variety of needs, and usually they're not actively kind of out there looking for those sorts of things, but they are usually have lots of opportunity trapped in them if you're willing to kind of reach out to them and make a relationship. Again, it's a part of this face-to-face networking. It should be a part of your list where, again, you're knowing all of those people. You should be, the person everyone goes to connect them with. Real estate agents are really good at this, but for whatever reason, insurance and mortgage, we seem to kind of not be as good at this, but really making those connections can create multiple deals. Small business, again, you probably have an owner, there's probably some affluence there, they have a different set of risk that they need to be aware of. That creates a lot of opportunities, but then of course there's all their employees, right? And so instead of one sale that you might get with a consumer, kind of calling on a small business can have 3 or 4 or 5 different sales inside of there. Same thing applies with mortgage. Again, reaching out, making those community relationships, and then oftentimes a small business will actually yield multiple deals. So that's one of those things. They don't get a lot of calls from mortgage brokers and insurance people probably, and so your cold call could be well received. So definitely try that. Of course, creating a referral system, sitting down and sketching out and making sure that every interaction that you're having with the consumer actually results in a request for a referral. This is something that a lot of times we don't do because it feels a little out of our comfort zone, but there's a whole bunch of good ways to do this. I'll link down to my article. I give you some examples of this, and I also wrote a full blog post on sort of creating a referral engine. I got a book recommendation there as well. So really thinking about and scripting out both in your email communications as well as your phone conversations, ways to kind of in a good way ask for those referrals and staying top of mind, re-engaging past clients again to request those referrals. Most people are willing to do it, they just don't think about it. So you definitely have to build it in to a routine or a system that allows you to ask for those and get those kind of free leads back more frequently and more consistently. Of course, online marketing, something I talk about a lot. You should definitely have a viable web presence, and there's a few other things that you can do. If you use social media inherently, I encourage you to do that for your business as well. And so often people are like super active Facebook users, but they don't use that for their insurance business or their real estate business. If you're comfortable with that, definitely leverage it. If you're not, don't try to force it. I see the opposite happening. People that are never on Facebook and then they try to just use it for their business comes off very uncomfortable for everyone involved. So the basics are definitely make sure you have a viable website so it's easy to find you. People expect to find you on the web and to go to that web page for just simple information like contact information or where your office is. So make sure that you have that. And then the other thing, build out those email campaigns. You should definitely be communicating in a systematic way via email. So if nothing else, those are the two online marketing components that you should have. Even if you buy all your leads or you get all your leads from referrals, you should still have those two anchors in that online market so that you're actually serving your clients' kind of natural behavior and the things that they want, and that is to find you online. Of course, we are the Age Lead Store, so buying age leads we think is a great way to build out your database and really build a viable book of business. Of course, if you're going to do that, around that you need to, and again, I've done several videos on this and a lot of blog posts, so seek those out. I'll drop some links in this video as well. But just building a system around those age leads, around that book of business, so that you're constantly communicating and keeping yourself and your business top of mind with all of those consumers. And if you're ready to build kind of that client acquisition system, we can certainly help you with that. Again, I'll give you some information where we can actually help to build out those lead nurturing systems for you. So if you are buying age leads and you're trying to kind of figure out how to create that nurturing system, how to build that system around your database or your age leads, would love to help you out with that. So again, hope as always you enjoyed this video. Encourage you to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.